Good morning. Hello. For those of you who do not know, my name is Jordan, and I work with the Kids of the King every Wednesday night. For those of you who don't know what the Kids of the King is, it is our Wednesday night children's program. It's from the age of pre-K all the way through 5th grade, where they start at the beginning of the Bible, and then they go all the way through the end every 3rd year, right? 4 years. After 4 years, they'll go back to the beginning of the Bible and start over. So every Wednesday night, or every other Wednesday night, to introduce our Bible lesson, we have our Kids of the King puppets, which are Uncle Don, Travis, and Jessica, and they introduce our lesson that we're learning and kind of relate it to everyday life. So it gives the kids an idea of how they can relate the lesson into their own life, what problems may occur, and how they use their Bible verses or their Bible story to help them along with that. So we would also like to dedicate this to Miss Helen, because she is the one that came up with the idea of the puppets having maybe some, not necessarily issues, but thoughts have may occurred as to why Pastor and Miss Janie may be leaving. So this is Miss Helen's idea, and with the works of my Uncle Barry, who wrote the script, to see how the puppets are actually dealing with this change. Yes, so the voice of Miss Jessica is voiced by Molly Buckner. There's Jessica. Yes, round of applause, round of applause. The voice of Travis is by Justin Buckner. Hey, there he is. And Uncle Don is Barry Gilly. Hey. Okay, now, puppets. We're going to do a little mic check before we get started. So, Jessica, are you ready?
Ready.
Mouth moving, Jessica? There we go. Yay. And Travis, are you ready?
Check, I'm here.
Woohoo. And Uncle Don, how about you?
Oh, yes, we're ready.
Okay. All right, one last round of applause for our puppets. And here we go.
Oh, no. I just heard some sad news.
What's wrong, Jessica? Why are you so upset?
It's just awful. I just heard that Pastor John and Miss Janie are leaving our church. Why would they leave us?
Jessica, where have you been? That's old news.
Where have I been? Where have I been? After the Kids of the King program, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central, some crazy woman puts me face down in a box and I can't see or hear anything for days. And then, when the crazy woman comes back and I finally get out of my box, I never get to say what I want. I have to follow some written script.
Well, I understand your concerns, Jessica, but tell me about the bad news.
What bad news?
Jessica, you just said you heard some bad news. Read from your script, Jessica. Miss Jordan, can you help her?
Oh, yes, the script again. Why would Pastor John and Miss Janie want to leave us?
Thank you, Jordan. Our pastor and his wife have been serving here and in other churches for many years, and they have decided it's time to retire. That's why Pastor Hunter and Courtney are here. Pastor Hunter will be taking over soon.
And what exactly do we know about these new humans? For instance, does he preach past noon? Can she play the piano? Do they even like kids? Do they believe puppets are like real?
Travis, they're sitting right out there in the audience. Why don't you just ask them?
Nah. I really like getting my information secondhand. It's more fun that way. Well, you know, this is a needy bunch of people here. And Pastor John and Janie have spent a lot of time with them in waiting rooms, living rooms, and funeral homes.
Yeah, that's right, Travis. but not just these humans. I remember the time when I had to have some surgery to repair some of my stuffing. The seamstress said it would be difficult to do by hand, but she did it because, well, I once had a bad experience with the Singer sewing machine. The point is, Mr. John and Miss Janie sat with me through every stitch.
Yep, and that reminds me of the time I had to go see a psychologist. You see, I thought I was going crazy because every time I talked, it was like someone else was speaking, like some unseen hand was guiding my actions. Anyway, I'm much better now. But the point is that Pastor John and Miss Janie stuck by my side and helped me get through a rough part of my life.
Well, you're not the only one, Travis. Pastor John and Miss Janie have helped a lot of people in this church. And frankly, some of them needed more help than you two did.
But Uncle Don, I thought Pastor John and Miss Janie loved us. Why don't they just slow down a little and stay with us?
They do love us, Jessica. And I think they've proven that with the way they've demonstrated Christ's love to us. But, well, okay, Jessica, do you remember the time you went away to camp for a week and your dad had to come get you?
Yes, I do remember that. But I was just lonely for my family.
Exactly, Jessica. Where does Pastor John and Miss Janie's family live?
Ooh, I know. They live up north somewhere.
Oh, no. Mom said that everyone who lives on the other side of that Masonic and Dixie line are Yankees. And Yankees do some strange things like they don't eat grits and they put sugar in the cornbread instead of their iced tea where it belongs.
That can't be right, Jessica. Everybody eats grits. Besides, you'd have to throw out the cornbread and the tea. And none of that is even biblical.
Whatever. I'm just telling you, Yankees aren't normal, bless their little hearts.
Okay, hold on, you two. I think you're getting off target here. You are right. They have family up north, actually in New York State. But their children live in Oklahoma and Texas. They want to move closer to them.
Yeah, but their children have lived away from them for a long time, and that didn't seem to bother them until those grandchildren came along.
Ah, I'll bet that's it. Grandchildren. Besides, the Beamises have lived in the South so long, I bet they'll never move back to New York. I don't think they like Yankees either.
Well, if Pastor John moves back to Oklahoma, he would fit in with those cowboy boots. Besides, if they go back up to Bemis, New York, they will probably put them to work in the family business, making seats for potties.
Okay. Once again, Travis, you seem to be getting off course. It's Clymer, New York, not Bemis, New York. And Pastor John's family does not make toilet seats.
Travis is always getting off course, Uncle Don.
I know.
I've been trying to straighten that boy out for years.
Jessica.
You know he's ADD,
Jessica.
right? The stories
Jessica.
I could tell you. Sometimes I have no idea where he is
Jessica.
going. So I just go
Jessica.
along for the ride.
Jessica, hold on just a minute. Can either one of you two kids tell me one thing that Pastor John has tried to teach us since they've been here?
1, 2, 3.
Love God and love others.
Okay. How are you two living that out in your daily lives?
Well, it's pretty easy to love God because he doesn't talk back or get on my nerves. But some of these people in this church, well, let's just say that most of them, they aren't nearly as spiritual as I am.
Jessica.
Sorry, Uncle Don. God is still working on me. But I'm trying to do a better job of loving God and loving others. And I am doing a better job of that this year than I did last year. And I hope to do an even better job next year, which is something else that Pastor John taught us.
Well, if Pastor John leaves, does that mean we have to stop doing that lethargical stuff? You know, like when we pass around the pieces on Sunday morning.
I sure am going to miss those hugs from Miss Janie and Pastor John's lethargy.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Just a minute here. Are you sure that Miss Janie will go too?
Travis, I'm sure she's going to go with her husband.
But, wait. Who will text us when someone needs help or prayers or, dies?
What about special events and other things happening in our church? Oh, does this mean we will have to start reading the bulletin again? Or maybe even listen when that boring old man makes announcements on Sunday morning?
Boring? Old?
Don't worry, Uncle Don. I'm not talking about you. I was talking about a human being.
Okay, apology accepted, Jessica. But I guess our church has been spoiled over the years with our Miss Janie texts. But I can tell you, as an old, boring grandfather, I understand why they want to be closer to their grandkids. Okay, kids, we have a lot to be praying for. Prayers for Pastor John and Miss Janie as they build a new house and prepare to move. Prayers for Hunter, Courtney, and our church during this transition. Prayers for our programs within the church, like small groups, our Kids of the King program, yay, and Wednesday night teen service.
Bye, Pastor John. I guess I'll see you when I see you.
They're not leaving right now, are they, Uncle Don?
No, they're not leaving right now, but I do need to go because I've got a lot of things to do. See you later, kids.
I'm still so confused, Jessica. So, we're telling them bye, but they're not leaving. We're passing the peace, not the pieces. So is it liturgy or is it lethargy?
Oh, I think my stuffing is coming out again.
Oh, I may need that counseling. The voice that is coming out of my mouth is not mine, and that hand is back. And Pastor Hunter, we need to talk. No, check that, Courtney. We need to talk.
Oh, just look at us. We are falling apart already, and our pastor hasn't even left Flintstone yet. This is going to be bad. Real bad. Now I'm going to need that counseling too. Courtney, I know you don't do counseling to church members, but I'm not a member, and I'm obviously not human. So there's that. You got just a minute? Is there a minimum? This is going to be bad.